You two are woefully unprepared for what exactly you're going to be doing as a double review. In what way? Look, son, I understand. Oh, now I'm a son when things get serious. Do you have any idea who you'll be messing with if you talk about K-pop demon hunters after this stupid American slime? Okay, first of all, yeah, Sandler's been through a lot, but first of all, hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews, finally doing a double review on a Monday. Yeah, long story short, work and, AC unit crap, a bunch of technical stuff in the house. Thanks, Logan, for the backup. Oh, good. And also, Father, don't you have, I don't know, double, I guess, team up with Wade and his offspring? Okay, look, she's a nice kid, and I'm pretty sure Laura can handle babysitting them for, like, at least a second. Not exactly, and by the way, I'm your right back, just letting you know. Thanks, Loki. Freaking ruler of magic. Yeah, long story short, we're going to be quarterbacking this double review. On my side of things and retros, we're going to be talking about Happy Gilmore. And yes, that Subway Cup has pretty much outlived its usefulness. And I'm guessing this long overdue nostalgia bait kind of sequel. So, retro if you won't. Thank you, Logan. So, yeah, long story short, it is a 30 years too soon or too late kind of sequel in Sandler's case. The jokes around this time is more pulled back than I thought for a Sandlerverse movie, so I gotta give it that at the very least. There is a lot of good cameos and a lot of obviously forced celebrity ones. Hi, Post Malone fans, don't know you that well, long story short, as far as band groups go. But, yeah, the one surprising hit was ironically Bad Bunny's new Caddy character. He was ironically silent, but, like, really useful in, like, subtle jokes, which is, like, one of the few times it was actually not bad. Outside of that, the plot this time around was that, for those who haven't seen the original movie, go to my tribute review for Carl Weathers when he passed earlier this year, when I did a quick summation of that movie. Happy over here is just a ex-hockey player that became a really damn good, golf, player as time went on, I think onto PGA tours and a bunch of like real world actual golf tournaments, so I won't go into deep about that. For those who are wondering where the hell Shooter McGavin's been in the last 30 years, they basically said he went to a insane asylum because he couldn't get another gold jacket back in the day. Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit kind of jacket, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're golf world equivalent of basically Heisman trophies and stuff like that. Again, trying not to sports ball more than usual and getting into the jokes of it. It's actually not bad for Chris McDonald coming back as Shooter McGavin. He was actually the funniest part in most of the back half of the movie because the front half was a good explainer where Happy's been the last couple of decades, and shouting out to totally not my actual real job. You actually work at that supermarket. Blurring the lines of IRL hood and real Nerf hood aside, yeah, Sandler has a history of, like, doing really weird forced product placements and make it plot-oriented for, like, a scene and a half. Hence the Subway over here, because he did that in the first Happy Gilmore. Amazing he didn't do it again this time around, but outside of that, not really much. It's still an okay comedy. Again, an okay comedy in Sandler's heyday is better than nothing. I'm very much aware his daughters were a thing. Also, I didn't clock that was Eminem doing the Jackass guy. Long story short there. Wow. Can't do this. There we go. Yeah, it turns out my mom, of all people, clocked it, and she knows the least amount of celebrities here. It also took me, like, I think a second or third viewing to basically remember that Becky Lynch was also here, proving that, yeah, that she got to be in a new movie than her husband was for Captain America earlier this year. Yeah, take that into consideration. By the way, how was that SummerSlam? Pretty banger, gonna be real here. That might be in the things I missed as far as retro news goes this week, so be on the lookout for that. And, ratings go. Yeah, here's the thing, son. He does the full ratings when both movies are reviewed. So you're just adding this into the pile. So finally, on my half, on the K-pop side of things, and more importantly, K-pop Demon Hunters. This is a 9 years overdue development. Wait, this took 9 years to make? You are rushing. You wanted me to cover the lore because you, of all people, thought that this was going to be insanely, woefully unprepared. No, you said that with a bunch of text chains and, I don't know, dead guy texts and stuff. Oh my god, you were happy again? Well, when you get possessed by the spirit of vengeance, it tends to happen like that. I thought you controlled it. Not now! Look, to put it nicely for the layman, it is a K-pop group all in fiction only, basically the Hasumiku of the era of that Sony Pictures variety. Sony Animated flipped the bill. Long story short, it took 9 years. Wow, seriously? And yeah, I believe the K-pop group Twice helped with most of the music. Yes, and a bunch of other K-pop regulars and stars and K-drama ones as well for the melodrama with Rumi and well, Hundrix and the Soldier Boys. I might have a type. I'm gonna be honest. It's the Goo Goo Gaga guy, isn't it? No, it's not, baby. It's maybe the ab guy. Don't you have better abs than that, dude? What? No. Teasing my boyhood aside, they are, for all intents and purposes, the villains of the movie. Okay, I don't believe it. This is some charm bullshit and other Western magic that you reference here will have consequences for this entire channel. Sorry, just trying to be a professional, yeah. Outside of that, there are things that I'm very happy that they've done very accurately for K-pop culture. Mainly the media tours, press stuff, and ironically, apparently what Americans figured out is having managers that isn't evil or in it for the money. Apparently, that's a thing in your country. Yeah, more than often, trust me, on the classic rock side of things. Yeah, more or less. So, overall thoughts since you watched this how many times? A handful conservative amount, 10 to 20. 10 to 20? I only watched this twice! Not the K-pop band, the actual viewing of this movie. Look, yes, they're all cool. I'm very much happy of, Rumi's, actor. I don't know if she was an actual K-pop star. Most of them, I think, were regulars from other shows over the years, and I think one of them was also from Teen Wolf. Okay, yes, let's be vague with IMDb's. Let's get to that while we're here with the directors. Chris Appas, that's a very American name, and Mackie Chang. Oh! They're Korean Americans, that's very understandable. Yes, Asian American culture as well as a whole. Yeah, so the reason why this took a month and change to basically talk about the show, or in this case movie, is that this made a lot of traction on Netflix, and to put it bluntly, it is still charting as of this month, as of a month after its release here of this recording. And also, Corey Does Things came back for her walking into a fandom video. That was the first one I remembered watching when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, as far as the tail end of that era of Star Wars, and did an explainer video for the whole, I guess, fandom as a whole. You did your homework. I'm very happy for your father. Also, you're not getting me a long overdue new stepmom thing in Korea. What? No, I thought that'd be you. That aside, the whole point of the plot of it is basically starting a new hormone, getting fans, and using very old Korean culture magics to basically harmonize and stop demons once and for all, while also breaking out swords and cutting them to death a lot, and do the whole ghostly pick mist stuff. So you see how you try the plot and you try to do the tactics of it all. The fight choreography was actually really good. It was actually not bad. I actually like their takedown. I guess brain sesh mid fight, trying to get the right beats and stuff like that. And ironically, not my favorite song. And you think, oh my god, it's gonna be Soda Pop. Look, they are demons, and I do not trust them, even though one of them has really damn good hits. Which one? Okay, it's Baby. Okay, see, if you just acted like that... Also, what was the game show thing? Was it the Korean version of Hot Ones, basically? More or less. It's not the worst thing. I know there was an animator that had also reviewed this movie as well, so go to that as well in the cards. We haven't really done a lot of card play. Getting to the point, it's a decent movie. I know we're not doing every single... there we go. Let's get to the obvious. Bobby, nice. The cat thing, I'm not a cat person, but apparently everyone likes it. The comedy with the girls is actually getting hyped up for... their performances apparently is very, I guess, human of them. I believe that is a regular Hangover. Oh yeah, Kim. Yeah. John. Yeah, was it John Cho? Yeah, I think it's John Cho. Yeah, he showed up for a lot of guest cameos, and I think the Demon King himself is, if I'm not mistaken, either Daniel Day Kim or probably somebody from Squid Game. Speaking of which, yes, I'm going to be talking about season 3. aka the final season. I got a lot to say. I know it's been a couple of months after the fact, but yeah, that's probably there's a reason why on that one. Okay, can we stop referencing other controversial Netflix shows aside? What did you guys think in ratings? Go. Okay, so for Happy Gilmore, let's get that out of the way. It's a strong let's be honest here, 5.5 out of 10. I mean, to put it bluntly, it's still a higher score than I would if I sat through most of Sandler's later 2020s or 2010s comedies post like his failed Oscar noms and bids. Yes, I'm still bitter about uncut gems of it all. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. Also, I forgot to mention that Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF for the AEW crowd, showed up as one of his sons, and I think a Shameless regular that I also forgot that even my mom clocked, so I'll probably put that to the things I missed on the casting there. Also, long story short, they had a cool funeral scene, remembering everybody, and, good shoutouts to Grandma, good shoutouts to Chubbs and stuff like that, and, probably only decent fight scene I saw all movie. It's a comedy, it doesn't need to be fighting all the time. It's Sandler. He tends to fight. And yeah, a lot of his Sandler best friends, IRL and otherwise, from his Waterboy days also made cameos, which was probably what knocked it down, basically. That and, like, some weird stuff with Steve Buscemi with, like, mailboxes and stuff. It was a whole thing, long story short there. Again, it's still watchable. There's at least a decent half hour of Sandler genuinely trying to do this and not being just nostalgia bait. Also, I think the last shot of that movie, we're going to be doing a little bit of spoilers by the end, because it's going to let you know, had a nice tribute shot of, Chris Farley's Tommy Boy. For those who don't know, Chris Farley sadly passed away a few decades ago, and to make a long story short, it is a very dark history that I don't have time to cover, but if you're a SNL regular, you know where I'm getting at. So, for Kpop Demon Hunters on, I don't know, Doc Inside, what do you think? Agiano. Thank you for both names. And, yes, it is a strong 9 out of 10. Now, to be fair, it is a high 9s. There is things in the animation that is clearly missing, namely, I believe the fandom and I think the animators themselves talked about a lot of deleted scenes, mainly Rumi's backstory of her half-demon father and mother, and who basically took them out for, I guess, to keep the girls going as far as creating a new K-pop group for the Hormone. Outside of that, the animation is still strong. The Soldier Boys, Thirst Trap for me aside, is very... a good threat. To put it bluntly, yes, is one of the main Soldier Boys going to come back as a sword trap thing? Very K-pop magical girl. There have been talks of the fandoms thinking they should do a world tour, seeing other magical girl groups that are also pop stars as well. I don't really know if that's going to work as a sequel. There are other sequel hook pitches on AO3 fanfics and stuff like that. You listen to AO3 fanfics? Not the point. And yes, it is a well-done movie after 9 years of hard work, dedication, and basically using Spy-verse animation directors to help them. It's a good movie. I don't know what else to say. I don't usually review. How do I close this out? Just take it to me. With Doc and being confused with Baby, really? Aside, he says "Goo Goo Gaga" so good. Okay, we get it. Your bias showing. Yeah. So go to my son over there freaking out. Aside, to the end cards with basically Richo's previous video, which is obviously talking about some Comic-Con updates, and I really do want that darker, brown suit. How many brown suits do you really need, Logan? Not enough! I'm just saying right now. And go to Retro over here. With my probably another Things I Missed series, or more importantly, my short, which should be coming out also today as well, with my overall thoughts with Brennan Lee Mulligan, getting to be GM for Campaign 4 for Critical Role, that might expand into a further video on the news in case any new details come out after Gen Con, so be on the lookout for that. So with that all being said, I am Retrokid for you saying, dude, are you gonna thirst trap over the baby dude again, or what? Seriously. I'm gonna sort of... Okay, so that was your favorite song, huh?